Okay, I am streaming on YouTube right now. So, this is to go over settings that are for bar. So, if you look at the game, you should click on Advance in the top right area. This shows up everything that is occurring, all the settings possible. So for me, what I have is bomb position bottom. I am using Grid, by the way. Grid is a hotkey version of factories, basically. If you're familiar with StarCraft, that's what that is. On the live stream, you'll see what Grid menu looks like. Let's see. There's a colorize that shows the orders right here being different colors. It's useful for certain people. Moving on. In under interface, I want you to look for a widget called energy converter usage. I recommend turning this on. On top of that, I also recommend turning on factory dock if it's not on already. I'll explain what these two do in a moment. Moving on to game. What I recommend is, where is it? Builder. These two should be off. Include builders if above is off. That should be off. Include structures and area selection. Those two should be off. This means when you're selecting use, you will be avoiding to select constructors and commanders. Anything with build power that isn't a res spot, basically. Next is fighters to fly mode. You do not want them to land. This is an option. Only fighters patrol. This is an option if you want to stack bombers in an area instead of having them be all over the place. You can turn that on. There are times where I will turn it off. The big thing in game that I recommend turning on is set target as default. Do not snap units to ground. I also recommend turning that on. In notifications, I recommend turning tutorial mode off. If you want to leave the messages on, that's perfectly fine. So I'm going to just set this up real quick.
Low power.
This is grid menu, by the way. I'm going to slow down the game. So, are there any questions about settings right now?
Not yet.
Okay. There are people that are. So what I'm going to be showing off next is auto groups. If you know how control groups work, you can simply assign units to a control group by pressing Control 1. Whenever you assign units to a control group, every time you push 1, the units come up. Auto groups are defined by selecting a unit in particular and pressing Alt and a number. I'm just going to get these set up. With all the grunts I have produced, and plasbots, they are on my auto group 1. Every time I push 1, they will always be selected all over the map. 2 are my rocket bots. 3 is my anti-air. I don't have anything for 4 yet. And finally, there's 5 for res bots. Are there any questions about auto groups? Okay.
Yeah, actually, I got one real quick. How do you remove units from auto groups?
You do that by pressing Alt and tilde. Tilde is to the left of the number 1 key on your keyboard. Also note that you can only assign one unit to either a control group or an auto group in the default scheme.
Low power.
Okay. I think that's everything.
You went through the
Game interface. Oh, I've got converter widgets. Factory dock and converter widgets. Okay.
and made sure you definitely got factory guard, right?
Yes. Oh, forgot to mention. If you go to interface, sorry, not interface. Game, factory guard builders, turn that on. The behavior that you're seeing where constructors do this pattern. That is the factory guard widget at work.
And what this does, it forces the builders to guard the lab as opposed to just walking off to the rally points.
Yes.
Definitely good. It will eventually be a button in the bottom center of the screen. I assume that's going to get put through at some point, but for the time being, you have to actually enable it in the settings.
It's a 50-50 on it being part of the game. It should be a part of the UI.
I really think it should too, and I think if you and I push for it, we'll probably get it in there.
Okay. So factory dock. If you look, this is relevant only to me right now because I have a factory and no one else does. But on the right of the screen, you'll notice that there is a resbot being built at this time. I can see that a factory is making a resbot. I can see that all the other units have a queue of 1. And what factory dock allows me to do is to simply see what is in the queue for a factory, followed by me being able to add units to the queue, remove them. I'm able to add them with add units into the front of the queue by pressing Alt, as if I was being controlled the lab. By the way, Alt with the repeat on, because this behavior does change if you if you have repeat off. The game will default to making the relevant unit, the unit that you're queuing up with Alt click next when possible. At the next possible spot. So
Yeah,
in the case, a constructor is being made, followed by a resbot.
It puts it at the front of the queue. It finishes whatever's currently building and then puts it as the next unit.
Yep. Okay. Are there any questions about factory dock and everything else that's been going on? Okay, perfect. So in this game, there are several types of ways of moving the units around. You can use move command by simply right click and dragging. You can do fight command, which is by pressing F or selecting the fight command in the bottom right, bottom left. Your units will attack everything that's any enemy is on the way to a point. They will stop to shoot at a target even though it may not be within, even though they should close. So fight command is really good for things like rocket bots, which are trying to shoot light laser turrets, but not perfect for the enemy having their units retreat and you having to catch them at the same time. I'm going to guess that the AI is in the top right area.
Perhaps.
Spec cheating is allowed. Oh, there's Google Frog.
You got it there.
Yeah. So to demonstrate fight command, notice how these units are staying right here and shooting at the target. Barrett, he did something. Okay. For set target, I need to explain that. So set target basically means that your units will prioritize one target over everything else. So if I were to tell them to attack a point, attack orders will override damage. That's quite simple. But whenever possible, these units they will always try to shoot the target that's been prioritized. With using set target, it allows you to move your units around the map without losing the attack orders. So
they'll continue to attack the target even if other targets are in range, if that target is in range. Otherwise, units will normally just fire at, you know, whatever unit they can hit within their attack range.
Okay. That should be everything. I'm going to stop the stream at this time.